Howdy folks, Dan Rubino here with the Nokia Lumia 620 for our review. And although we did this device, we did a pretty good unboxing a few weeks ago. Just to refresh you guys on this device, I've been using it now for the last few weeks, and it is actually one of my favorite phones, even though it is a low-cost device. It is pretty good. For $300, I think this is one of the nicest looking phones that Nokia has done. It does support a 1 GHz CPU, dual core, which is interesting. Of course, it has Windows Phone 8 Portico, the latest version of the OS that's out there. It does have NFC. It has a front-facing camera. Of course, it has a 5 megapixel rear shooter, which actually does very well in bright lights. Not so great in low light as you would expect, but for daylight, really good. The color balance is one of the best I've seen. Of course, you got your headphone jack on top, micro USB on the bottom with your microphone. You also do get your volume buttons here and power. And you'll notice it's actually the same type of keys as the Nokia Lumia 920. They're using that ceramic now. Same thing with around the camera. So they got rid of all that chrome, and I think it looks much better than what they used to use with the chrome and everything. These don't scratch, they don't wear out as much. Same with the camera. And of course this shell here, which is a two-toned plastic, you can see it's got the yellow and green, and it gives a really neat effect. It's kind of hard to see on video, but like, you know, things like the Nokia is actually sort of layered, and you can kind of see sometimes the way the light reflects through it. It's a neat effect. Some people will call this a Fisher-Price phone due to the somewhat toy like nature of it, but I should remind you, it does come in black and white, so for your phone traditionalists out there, you can make it look like just a normal, respectable phone. I happen to like green. I think it looks awesome. This phone is just really catchy. If you're curious about the speed of it, with being at only a 1 GHz dual core CPU, it is slower than obviously a 1.5 gigahertz. There's no argument there. The question is it significantly slower? Yes and no. If I'm going to do a direct comparison here, so for instance, I'll do Internet Explorer. Yeah, okay. It takes a little bit longer to load up, especially since that page wasn't loaded. But you know, little things like that, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of lag. Not in a lag in the sense that you feel like you're waiting an eternity for things to load, but obviously that extra half gigahertz from the dual core on the 920 does give it a boost in performance. But you don't use phones like that, at least I don't. I use phones independently of other phones, and when you start using it on a normal basis, no, everything kind of loads just fine. And it feels like a normal phone in many ways. In fact, it sort of feels a lot like how a Windows Phone 7 device feels. But scrolling is fine. Touch sensitivity is good. I mean, once again, it's not as good as a Nokia Lumia 920, but no one is expecting that. It is very good, though, for the quality of the phone it is. I do have a Nokia Lumia 610, the previous one, and this is just night and day between the quality in terms of updated features. You do get, like I said, NFC on board with this, Wi-Fi, front-facing camera, Bluetooth. I mean, this has everything in there for less than $300. In that sense, it's really good. I can even show you something a little bit more intense. A lot of people ask about games. How did those perform? And let's say I'm going to load Asphalt 5 here. And you can see for yourself. It handles games just fine. I don't have any issues with it. You can see even the load time here is perfectly acceptable. This game always does have a little bit of a longer load time anyway. But you can see the graphics. So hopefully you guys can see that there's just like no lag with this whatsoever. It doesn't stutter or anything. It handles racing games just fine. Although I'm going to probably do terrible on this. But you kind of get the idea there. It is just, you know, I'll even zoom in. There's like no difference here with graphics and as far as how it performs. It's totally fine. So like I said, it's a little bit slower than previous 1.5 gigahertz phones, but other than that, it's totally fine. But it's a great device. It's a lot smaller in the hand, obviously, than a 920, but because of that, it really fits well. You can like just grip your hands around it. Your thumb is, you know, going like that. There you go, Nokia Lumia 920, one of my favorite phones. Audio speaker right there, by the way, really good. Obviously easy to block, and when you do that, it really does sort of block. But it's actually pretty good for audio. It's not perfect, it's a little tinny, but it's loud and clear, and that's actually probably more important than necessarily having, you know, a dual stereo system or something like that on your phone. So there you go, Nokia Lumia 620. Head to Windows Phone Central for our full review. Check it out. Great little device though from Nokia, and you know, keep it in mind as a gift for someone. Might be a good idea. Take care, everybody.